Hey, welcome to YouGoin'Pro channel, the channel where we help athletes develop proficiency and assisting their passion for the game they love. Today's topic is a very good topic. We know that right now that all the schools are open now, high schools are open, colleges are open. But today, when we're talking about college, we're going to talk about the 10 common mistakes college athletes don't prepare for. And we're not going to waste any time. We'll get right to the point. We got 10 common mistakes. Number one is time management. Think about it when you're in high school, you just kind of go and do what you want, when you want, however you want it, whenever you want it. You didn't really have a lot of time, you just do your schedule. Your schedule is already made for you. But now, when you're in college, it's a different level, different challenges. Time management. You need to balance your academics, your athletics, your social life. It's going to require a lot of time management skills. So if you've never done it before, you will have to do it. Number one, that is the very first thing you have to learn is time management as a student athlete. Number two, academic pressures. Now, some people say, well, I went to a school that was a college preparatory school, or I went to a school that had prepared me for college. Now, this may not be for you, but let's just talk about the other, let's just say 80% of student athletes that went to public school or charter schools or they homeschooled. They're going to have to deal with academic pressures. That's number two. You got to maintain a good grade point average while meeting the demands for sports. That's going to be stressful because it's not high school, it's college now. Some of you guys are going and girls are going to D1 school, D2 schools, D3 schools, NAIA schools. Those schools are they're going to test you. They're going to test you. It's going to be some academic pressure. Now, if this shoe doesn't fit, it's not for you. But let's just talk about for the most of you people that it's going to be a different challenge. That's tip two. Tip three is going to be physical demands. You're going to have a extreme training and competition. Far as what I mean that, I mean the competition is going to be extreme based from high school to college, no matter what level you're at. It doesn't matter the level. The competition is going to be different. So remember the physical demands that you're going to have as a college athlete. Remember that. So with that, you're going to have to be training. The competition is going to be tougher, and it could lead to fatigue and injuries if you don't prepare yourself. If you don't do the dynamic workout, if you don't stretch, just don't jump in there and just say, well, I'm going to just warm up. And just go, when I mean by warm up, just go out there and start throwing the ball or hitting the ball or shooting the ball, whatever sport you may be doing. You're going to have to learn. You got to stretch because this body that you have, you only have one body. And you got to maintain it. And remember, you're coming from high school to college. Tip three, the physical demands. Tip four, mental health. When I played college ball, we didn't talk about mental health. We just did it, but now it's a big thing. We didn't know what it was called. This is tip four, mental health. You're going to have issues like anxiety, depression, stress, being a college athlete. Remember that. I need you to seek help. If you're having any issues or you may be feeling a certain way, I strongly suggest for you to seek help because you probably have the resources there in college, no matter what college you're at. Someone you can reach out to and help you for the mental health issue. If people says, well, I don't have it. Yeah, think about it. You're a new student. You're a student athlete. And if you're home or away from home, it's still a different game. You got to take care of yourself now. You got to eat. You got to do everything different. So this is a mental thing. This is all mental. So think about what I'm saying. This is tip four, the mental health. Tip five. Oh, Lord, this is a good one. Social isolation. Remember when you're a freshman, you don't, just say you don't have any friends. Because people say, well, I got friends. Just say you don't have any friends. And say your schedule doesn't fit the schedule of your friend. And that friend has a class at a certain time. So you wind up being by yourself most of the time. So you don't know anybody. You got to make friends. And some of the people are not friendly because we've been pampered all our life in high school, for the most part, not everyone, but even the ones that are homeschoolers, because I had to deal with some homeschoolers, they don't have any social skills. And, nothing against them, but their social skills are very, very low. So when you get to a big university or a school that you're familiar with, you're going to feel some isolation because of the demand of the schedule, the limited time of social activities that you're used to from high school to college can lead to isolation. So I'm just preparing you. Tip 6, sleep deprivation. Wow, this is a good one, because think about it. When you go to high school, most of your classes start at 8:30 or 8 o'clock, something around there, but it may be like a homeroom. So you probably can get away and sleep or goof around. Let's be honest. In high school, you goof around, or you may be study hall or whatever. But it's going to be different because you're going to have early morning practices as a student athlete. So that means you got to learn how to study late at night, have sessions. You may have to take naps. Let's talk about that, naps. That's something that I did as a student athlete. I had to take some naps because your body is not in your, and your sleep is very important. You can get away with it for a while, but as you get older, you're going to learn, hey, I got to get some sleep, because the body needs sleep, just like it needs water, it needs fuel. So tip 6, that is sleep deprivation. Tip 7, injury and recovery. Wow. Dealing with injuries and pressure to return back too quickly can be a challenge. Now, when you're in high school, you might be able to get away with that. But as your body grows, things get different, they get more challenging. They're growing, you're growing. So injury and recovery time is very, very important. Think about that. These are the most common things that college student athletes don't prepare for, because now you're by yourself. So you may have a athletic trainer there at the school, or a coach that knows something about, recovery and rest. So, and injury. So I'm just saying this because in high school, you get away with that stuff to get back in the game, go quick. But now that you're going to college, things are different. So remember that you'll be by yourself. So tip number 7 is injury and recovery. Tip 8, performance pressure. When I say performance pressure, your expectations to perform, to be consistent. It has to be significant, because if it's not, you're going to lead to stress. So these are performance pressure. So you're going to be, so just say you have 3 or 4 coaches, you're playing a sport, you're trying to impress them. But really, if you're doing what you need to do, let's just talk about that. Performance pressure. If you're doing what you need to do, don't worry about what everybody else is doing. Just be the best you. That's something I had to learn the hard way. You go out there, you see, because in college, everybody's good. In high school, everybody's not good. But in college, everybody's good. So that's that performance pressure. You start looking around. Wow, man, he can do that, or she can do that. Wow, man, that was pretty good. You say it to yourself. So you get all this pressure. So don't pressure yourself. Challenge yourself to be a better you, because God has given everyone different talents and gifts. And remember that, because just because this person is good at that doesn't mean they're good at something else, and vice versa. You can be good at doing this, and this other person cannot be good. So that's the reason why we have a team in college, and that's why he or she recruits so many different players, because they all have different talents and skills to make a successful team. That's the goal. So remember that the expectations to perform, just be the best you. Do all you can do to be you, because no one can outdo you. There's only one copy, and that's you. There's no carbon copies. Even if you're a twin, you're different. All righty, let's get on. Tip number 9. The financial strain. Financial strain. Despite of scholarships and athletes that may have the NIL or have an opportunity to get the NIL, what about the players that don't have it? What about the players that, taking loans and they get grants and all that other kind of stuff, and their parents don't have the funds? Think about that. Think about it. Their parents don't have the funds. So if their parents ain't got the funds, that may be their dream is to get in college and play baseball or play football or play basketball or play softball or play whatever, or tennis or golf, whatever it may be. Remember that everybody is going to have, for the most part, a financial strain. That means things cost more in college. When I say that, you may not be paying for it because you're a freshman, but what if your parents is paying for it? Besides, they may be paying for other things, because I know that some sports don't give 100% scholarships, and we know what sports they are. So remember that. I want you to remember that. Financial strain, despite the scholarship, there's still other things you have to live every day. You got to wash clothes. You may need something else. You need like soap, shampoo, take a shower. You may need new clothes. You be growing, whatever the case. So financial strain. You get the point. So I told you I was going to give you 10 common mistakes college athletes don't prepare for. But guess what? I've got more for you. I got a bonus. I got 5 more. Or 4 more. 5 more. Okay. I'm sorry. I'm on 10 now. I apologize. Number 10, uncertainties about your future. And I'm going to read this because this is something I wrote down. Concern about career prospect post-college, especially if you don't go to college. So basically, the uncertainties of your future. That's what I'm trying to say. The uncertainties of your future. Let's take one thing at a time. Don't think about what's going to happen next year. Think about the now. We got to think about what's going to happen now, because faith is now. And I'm applying this because a lot of times these players try to think, you're going to have all these things I'm talking about. It's common, man. I'm telling you, it's common. The uncertainty about your future. Just take one day at a time. Go out there and be the best you can. Give 100%. And matter of fact, don't even give 100. You go all out every day. Give 150% every day. God's willing, just go out there, be the best you can, because you only get one opportunity to play college: baseball, basketball, football, whatever it is, soccer, tennis, whatever, volleyball. You get one time, because most of the people are not going to go pro. So take one thing at a time. Take steps. As you're a freshman and understanding how to deviate through the college life, you should start preparing yourself for the next step. That's post-college. Prepare for what you're going to do outside of the sport. Okay, if you make it, you make it. If you don't, you don't. You still got to prepare for it, because you only play sports for so long. So the uncertainties about your future. All right, here we go. Here's the bonuses. Number 11, travel demand. There's going to be some frequent traveling for your games, each game. So don't let it interfere with your academic schedule. So you're going to have to develop a personal routine for this travel demand, because now, instead of going 30 miles in high school, now you're going probably 150 miles to 250 miles. So these are the things you got to prepare for, the travel demands. Okay, and just say you're overnight. Just say you're overnight on a Thursday night, and then you go to another school the next day. So you got to prepare for the travel demands that you're going to have on you. All these are the things you need to worry about. I'm sorry, not worry, be concerned about and prepare for. Have a schedule for that. The travel demand. That was a bonus, right? Tip 11. Here's tip 12. Nutritional challenges. Now, oh wow, this is great, because think about this. Back in the day, we used to eat McDonald's, Pizza Hut. I can't eat that stuff anymore. But if you can eat it, you can eat it. But I can't eat it. But what I'm trying to say is, when you're in college, you pretty much eat almost anything, because you want to eat. Because mom and daddy's not there. You don't have the money. All you got is a meal plan, a little scholarship money here. You don't have the NIL. So you got to make the best of the situation. So nutrition is very important. So I ask you to maintain a proper diet in your schedule. It could be busy. I mean, it could be challenging. That's what I'm trying to say. Man, this has a little tough. It could be a little challenge, but make the best of the situation. If you can't get every meal with nutrition, try to get at least one meal, because your body needs it. It's like putting premium gas in a car. Nutritional challenges. That's tip 12. These are the bonuses. Tip 13, relationship strain. Wow. Balancing relationship with your family, friends, and your significant ones can be very, very tough because you're gonna have it's like a new life, a new life. You're not prepared for these things you used to do. Everything's new. Relationships gonna be strained. So I'm just telling you now, it's not gonna be the same that you're used to. So just get yourself prepared. That's why we got this YouTube channel, because at YouGoin'Pro, this is what we believe in: developing proficiency at the highest level, so we can assist you for the passion in the game that you love. That's the logo. That's the slogan for this channel and everything we do. Relationship strength. Tip 14: identify self-worth. Oh, don't identify yourself from others' perspective. Identify yourself from what you perspective. Because athletes are going to struggle. I mean, we're going to struggle as an athlete. And don't identify yourself how good you're on the field. Identify who God made you to be. You're not a mistake. Make the best of what your situation. Identify yourself not by how good you're on the field. Identify because you know who you are. It's not by how good you perform. You are a blessing anyway. So don't think that, well, I'm not starting. Well, it's not going what I think. You're still a blessing. Maybe it's just not your season at this present moment, and maybe it's a developmental stage. It can be many things. So don't take it personal, because you're very, very much worth whatever the situation is. You're worthy. You're worthy. God don't make mistakes. Your parents didn't make a mistake. So think about that identity and self-worth, because you're going to struggle. It's part of the process. It's part of growing, because you're in a different chapter of your life. This is the last tip. This is here. Stigma around seeking help. I'm going to read it. There's often stigma associated with seeking mental health support, which can prevent athletes from getting help they need. The stigma, other words, basically you're talking about who's watching me, or they know I went to go get this. Man, just, don't worry about what people think. The stigma is going to happen regardless. It happens when you're in a corporate world. It happens when you're working for yourself. It happens when you're working for people. Stigma around others, don't worry about them. Don't worry about what the Joneses are doing. Don't worry about what other people are doing. You just do what you need to do and do what's right for you. Don't, if you know something's not right, don't put yourself in pressure situations. Keep your head on right. Go, you came there for a reason and a purpose, and achieve it and do the best that you can. I have a slogan that I say on my podcast, YouGoin'Pro podcast. And it's, first of all, you need to listen to what I'm saying. The second one is this: execute what I'm saying. And the last one is dominate. And some of my baseball players, the guys I've coached over the years, that's one of my favorite words, is dominate, because God made me to dominate. He made you to dominate. So I want you to take these notes today in this YouGoin'Pro channel. I hope these are very helpful tips. The 10 most common mistakes college athletes don't prepare for. Hey, this is Coach Laurie. I'm going to say it like I always say. Hey, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and click the notification. This is Coach Laurie. I'm out. Hope you enjoyed this. Hey, I'd love to hear your comments. Next week, we'll have again. Next week, YouGoin'Pro channel. Love you. Take care. Bye-bye.